on this penultimate episode of In the City, we get a little New England house summer in the fall as our gang piles in cars to go to Connecticut to have a Friendsgiving, because nowhere in New York City could you have a beautiful dinner with friends and, foliage.
I will say, though, that this little town that they went to, Washington, Connecticut, is really beautiful. Like, it's really charming. It's a really, perfect, when you think of a New England, little getaway from the city kind of place, like Washington.
The house was...
It's a lot of money up there. And
yeah.
A lot of,
the house was really beautiful. And when they pulled up, it was just giving, first weekend Midsummer House, which, by the way, this past weekend was the very first filming of Summer House season 11. Obviously, Sierra's not there. She's in Fiji, but Lindsay is there. Kyle is there. Carl, I believe, is there. So stay tuned for that. But hello, everyone. This is I'll Take a Pinot Grigio.
It's his band bikinis.
Well, I mean, listen, we got a shot of his panties, so that's all we need. This is the highlight of the episode. This is season 1, episode 8, Caught in the Crossfire. I'm Sunday, pop culture professor, expert on shows that go on too many episodes, heavy on the self-proclaimed of it all.
And I'm Emily, Sunday's longtime friend, and just here for the ride on whatever the hell this is.
And we do get confirmation that this is the second to last episode. Next week is the finale. So I think Friendsgiving is going to be the end of it. And that will mean our last episode. But in the meantime, we are covering the Real Golden Girls of Orange County, which is what I accidentally called them. Season 20, episode 1, 2006. I asked Nolan what she was doing in 2006, and she said, starting second grade, Mom. So
probably or something. Yeah.
So long time show. We're definitely going to dip into that. These women are kooky and really putting in the work after 20 years, getting a lot of the work as well.
No,
real quick, Emily, let me check in with you about your feelings about paintball. Where do you fall on the paintball scale?
Hard pass. That's no. Mm-mm.
Do you know how fucking mad I would be if I'm out here in my ballet flats and they're like, yeah, we're about to schlep it into the woods and play paintball? No, I don't want to do that. You're going to ruin my shoes. My feet are going to be freezing. I don't want it.
I mean, obviously they had to go dig around into their suitcases to find their appropriate clothing and footwear to put on to go do this shit. There's no way Yvonne went out there in crocheted ballet flats. I mean,
well, what if she didn't pack sneakers or hiking boots? I mean, Kenny, knowing the whole thing, was in full camo gear, and I'm like, okay, so thanks for the heads up, you fucking asshole.
Right.
But
yeah.
To recap a little bit about the last few episodes, this is going to become important later, but Kyle has a very sensitive stomach right now.
Listen.
Danielle wants babies. There's some scandal around Owen and his wedding. Nick and Yvonne's fake wedding, and she's a real bitch about it. She throws giant hissy fit. Danielle yells. Lindsay yells. Kyle's not in love. A Friendsgiving is in the works, and Yvonne is a bitch about it. That's where we land. So
I don't know, though. I'm gonna have to stand up for Yvonne. I don't think that she's getting portrayed accurately with people, calling her being a bitch about everything. She's not my favorite. She just doesn't seem all that fun to me. But
yeah.
But I mean, I didn't choose her to be a friend. Y'all chose to be her friend, Lindsay. You talk about how y'all have been best friends. So fucking be there for your best friend.
Well, so this is what the problem is. I think that Bravo was really relying on the history of the friendships that would carry the show. But there's so many people on here that don't know how to be on a reality TV show. Yvonne doesn't understand that when you throw an event, that is a set. You guys are on the set of a show, And nobody's going to want to watch 40 minutes of y'all sitting around getting along. Like, I'm so sorry, but for your, as Lindsay kept calling it, your civil service ceremony, 2 years after your regular wedding and a bachelorette party and a shower, all of that, like, you were throwing an event as a scene in a reality show, and I don't know what you expected was going to happen, girl. Like, no.
No, devil's advocate here. I'm not taking Lindsay's side on this one. I think she was being a real bitch to her friend. And like, honestly, she's given like sour grapes, in my opinion. Like, I think Lindsay is having a little jealousy FOMO, maybe, that she never got a wedding, much less 2 weddings. Like,
I mean,
on.
I don't know. You're going to have to disagree on this one because imagine Lindsay is grumpy because she's tired and her muscles are sore from carrying this whole goddamn show on her back. She's like, y'all, could somebody else
Calm down a little and give anyone else any room to like breathe. You know what I mean? Like,
tell me.
Like, I feel like y'all give these other people like a second to have a conversation or a thought about anything. It's like we get one little snippet, like Whitney starts to like say something in here and she tries to talk to Lexi, which big mistake because Lexi is the most scared bunny rabbit I've ever seen in my life. Like, what does Lindsay have her in a snuff film or something? Like, what's happening? Because Lexi is so scared of Lindsay. She's like, I didn't say nothing about nobody.
Well,
and no. No. I 100% disagree. Like,
yeah.
Whereas
Lexi knows what side her bread is buttered on.
I think Lindsay has been throwing, and I say this as a mom who is fucking exhausted all the time because I am a mom and a million other things. I'm not just a mom. I do think Lindsay is really like laying it on thick with this whole, well, I'm a mom, I deserve this kind of treatment.
I don't think that she's saying she deserves it though, but I think that like, when they flash back to that trolley scene.
Said it like about the room. She like literally
with the room.
She and George, she goes, we're moms. It's our first time away from our kids ever. Okay. Then why didn't y'all take the bedroom that Kyle and Amanda got shoved into that has separate beds? Like, Lindsay's like bitching about like, well, we can't be spooning in a bed. We're in a relationship. Okay, well then why did y'all take the one bed, like one of the bedrooms that has one bed in it? Why didn't you take the one that has twin beds?
I mean, that is also a trope too, but when they for further textual evidence, they flash back to the trolley and Lindsay wasn't playing that card. She was like, listen, I'm busy. I have a lot going on. I can't commit to this fucking bullshit and I think also what we're not hearing her say a lot is that, I think what
kids are also busy.
Yeah,
too.
but she's the only one. Her and Georgina are the only ones that have children. And so for Whitney, who has the most...
They remind us of it every single...
Yeah, I think that's an important distinction, though, because first off, Whitney has the most forgettable face ever. And I was with Lindsay. I was like, what? Yeah, it must be real tough to sit around and drink matcha and go to Pilates and get abused by your boyfriend all the time.
She does have to live with Kenny, so I think we need to give her a little bit of
was Lindsay as gracious as she should have been or could have been, I guess? No, she was not.
Absolutely.
But this was just, who gives a shit?
Like Lindsay has been gracious at all this whole season, to tell you the truth. And I feel like it's building into this. I'm actually the one thing I'm actually excited to see on this In the City Forgettable show is when they do the reunion. I am interested just to see how she feels about how she's been portrayed on the season and what Andy Cohen has to ask her and stuff, because
I bet she stands 10 toes down.
Of course she's going to. But here's my problem. She is really taking this whole, even when she's, supposedly apologizing to Yvonne about, the way that it was acting, she's like, I'm sorry that I couldn't, and I was like, wow, you sound super apologetic there. That sounded like a really,
Well,
great.
because she wasn't really sorry. Like, I mean, I think she just wanted it to be over,
That's what I'm
you know?
saying. That's what I'm
But
saying. She wasn't, so don't lie to your best friend and say, "I'm so sorry that I would blah, blah, blah."
well, I
Like,
mean, for whatever reason, though, Yvonne was like, "Okay, fine, good enough for me," and then cops it. So, whatever Yvonne lets
which
Lindsay
that
get
to
away
me
with, that she
actually
gets
made
away
me,
with.
do you think that Yvonne respond I can't decide. I'm still debating. I'm still thinking about it actually, whether Yvonne was responding in a very cool manner because she was diffusing Lindsay, because it did. It very quickly diffused Lindsay, or was
Mm,
she responding like that because she's scared of Lindsay? I'm not sure which one it is.
I
Because
mean,
she has
I don't
been a
know.
real yes woman to Lindsay, I feel like.
Well, it's
Um,
so hard to understand what their real dynamic is, though, because, Carla was sitting there with me, and whenever they took that selfie at the table and the camera was looking at Gavin, and then when they showed the picture, there were quite literally 5 cameras around
right.
with the 2 producers standing around. And so I think it's really hard if this is your very first season ever in front of the cameras, is ever we don't really know what we're really getting with any of these folks. Like, we kind of know what Lindsay's like, we know what Kyle is like, we know what Amanda's like because we've seen them. They have a training in it, but I don't have any idea what Yvonne and Lindsay's relationship is like. I think we're getting a little bit of a peek into what her and Georgina's relationship might be, but, I think I don't know. I
Yvonne
find Yvonne
and Georgina.
Lindsay and Georgina, because we get the camera kind of,
Yeah,
I don't know, it just feels like it pierces it penetrates their particular bubble, but it's not penetrating Yvonne.
and maybe it's
Yeah.
Bravo's thing on this, but I felt like Lindsay and Georgina had a real mean vibe.
What I also found really interesting was that Georgina puts her children to bed every single night, even when they're at their ex's house. And I'm just thinking about this weaponized incompetence that her goddamn ex-husband must be really wielding over her. Like, oh, they only go to bed when you do it. And oh, you do it so good. I don't know how to do it as good as you. And so she probably schleps it across the city to be there. And I was like, Georgina, this man is never going to learn how to do nothing. But I found it
But I
really,
don't know, does he live across the city? Or do they live in the same building?
I mean, who knows? We have no idea. We
Maybe
never even, I,
elevator 1 floor up.
I mean, she barely mentioned him less than 5 times. So we really don't know. I thought it was a really funny thing too when Kenny was talking to Danielle and he was like, yeah, calling the bride a bitch is a real niche move. So I'm going to start using that and be like, ooh, that's a niche move. Instead of saying, oh, that's a choice, or ooh, that's wild work. It's a
It
niche move.
that was definitely a choice. Yeah, agreed.
This whole business about them Googling Danielle, which is a nothing burger too, but Lindsay maintaining that she's protective, her reaction about it is protective, is completely inauthentic. The fact of the matter is, you Google people. Is it a flattering thing to do? No, it is not. Is it the high road? Absolutely not. But that is a thing that people do. And I wish Lindsay would just cop to it and be like, listen, man, we don't know this dude. You're kind of a celebrity. And I wanted to know what his fucking deal was. I just wish she would just drop the pretense and be like, Danielle, you know what we were doing. Come on.
Absolutely. And I mean, honestly, so on this, I'll side with Lindsay about this because, I feel like, okay, Danielle, if you and Owen would just open up and talk about whatever the shit is that everybody is trying to find out, just give us whatever little bit of backstory kind of thing that you've got,
Mm-hmm.
then we don't need to go get on Google, but y'all aren't. So the next thing that's available is, all right, we're just
And
going to go Google about this,
well, I also think it's very, very wholesome that Danielle didn't think that all of the internet sleuths across the fucking universe were going to immediately get on and start Googling this man and sorting it out. I bet Lindsay had 1,000 DMs. I bet Amanda had a, huh?
Or brain dead. I said wholesome or brain dead. I mean, to me,
Well, I'm
this
just
is
saying, I just what I mean. I mean, it's just it's funny that she thought they weren't going to do that. And Lexi And I am also interested. I would like for us to revisit this single mom card again if we get a second season or at the reunion when both Lexi and Yvonne are fucking pregnant or Lexi, Yvonne, and Danielle are pregnant. Okay. Because it's real easy to talk about, oh my God, get over it. It's like everybody's busy when you do not have any children to sort out. But let's just see. We'll see what that stands up, you know?
Of course, they won't be, I mean, unless there's a divorce on the horizon for any of them, they won't be single moms.
Well, we'll see with Owen. She might be a married single mom.
We'll see.
And so there's this whole bit about Amanda and Kyle sharing the twin beds, but Amanda's wearing that camouflage shirt. Is that West's shirt?
Probably. I mean,
was it? She photographed in that shirt?
Snuggled with him before she went and got in the car to go meet her supposed husband. And I had to write this down. This shit's fucking pissing me off. This man is planning his future without me even in it. Ma'am, did you not just sign a fucking year-long lease in an apartment without consulting him? Like, stop trying to spend it. And this is, I think, where part of my anger at this show is coming from, is once again, Bravo, stop trying to act like we're not humans who exist in the universe and have seen everything that has happened in Amanda and Kyle's relationship up until this point. Like, we all know the gig is up, man. Like, you know,
I have a feeling that this summer house in the city timeline business is going to really, really reconfigure how Bravo shoots and the timelines which they do, because so many people are talking like we are about how it's not interesting. There's no tension because we already know. And so there's going to have to be some kind of shift. I kind of noticed it when I was watching episode 1. I won't say anything, but when this drops, it will not have aired yet. But more and more and more shows are acknowledging the outside of the fourth wall. They're showing the TikToks. They are showing the appearances on podcasts. And I think that there's a move to do that in that way. And I think Summer House has shifted that needle in a way because you can't ignore it. We can't ignore what's happening outside the gates here. Speaking of MOC. But really what got me.
What episode one? What do
Real Housewives of OC.
Gotcha. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to get in trouble with Bravo. Love you, Bravo. But what really got me was when Amanda said, something in my gut tells me this is the end. Is it West's dick? Is it West's dick in your gut that's telling you? Because you were actively sleeping with this man. This is November.
Right.
Or after. Okay. Like, ma'am.
I'm assuming it's supposedly November or somewhere around there.
Well, we know that she moved out officially in November, but also too, it was kind of confusing because it was like a haunted paintball. So it was like around around Halloween. I don't know, but we know it was around this time. We don't have to talk too much about Kyle's exploding butthole, but
damn.
This poor man is on TV. One of a very popular watch shows talking about his anal fissures. And I'm just listening. 40-somethings across the world was like, I see you with your fiber intake. How about read the instructions next time, sir? That's all you got to do. Just read the instructions. And him like easing himself down into his Epsom salts bath. Like, I'm like, oh, Kyle.
He started the Metamucil because his dad like encouraged him to, and then his dad later, like a week later, is like, yeah, well, I take a stool softener with it too. And Kyle's like,
yeah, not Kyle. He was just exploding buttholes.
Yeah, let's let this be like a PSA to our audience. If you're going to take any medical advice from your boomer parents, make sure you circle back and you get all the
Yeah, just do a Google, Kyle. Just do a quick Google. Like Amanda throwing herself on the sword.
Even Loverboy, okay? Like if you're taking that much Metamucil, take some fucking water too, buddy. Okay.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he didn't know what he was doing. But no, Amanda like throwing herself on the sword, like, well, I guess I'll take the twin beds. I'm so sorry, Amanda, that you get to have fun. What a burden it is to be in this beautiful house with these beautiful settings. And oh, terrible that you have to sleep in this bed, not even in the same bed with your actual husband that you've moved out 2 days ago. Like, come on. I cannot with her. I don't even
I really honestly cannot with all the women standing up for her and, like, causing this whole, like, scene at this dinner table, like, I
well,
guess if they were recording this so I guess if they were filming this back in November, maybe we didn't have the whole Scamanda
right.
situation at
Well,
all.
remember, they didn't know what they didn't know.
Even still, like,
And but
Amanda, she's
in that dinner, they slip right back into the old summer house pattern where Kyle gets a little drunk. Somebody says something out loud, everybody piles on, and because he is intoxicated or he feels overwhelmed or he feels piled on, he explodes, and then we can't feel sorry for him and we can't take his side because he's the raging alcoholic abusive husband who is verbally assaulting his wife, and it's like, but now that we've seen all of that, we know that's not the whole story.
Where's my Kyle that's been doing therapy that I was loving this season?
Well,
Like, where'd that Kyle go? We're out of town, we're out of the city, so, like, we slip back into, like maybe
well,
that's it. He slips back into his summer house patterns.
yeah. Or
Right,
maybe it was
babe.
the anal fissures too that
You know,
just he couldn't get comfortable. He's sitting on a donut. He couldn't get
that
comfortable.
probably makes you a little grumpy, I would think.
Yeah.
So
Andrea in his Italian panties. That was a delight. Y'all go to social media to see my take on that. I did snap some pics. I was like telling Carla, it's for the gram. It's for the gram.
I mean, we could just have that every week on this
Mhm.
show, and I'd be okay with that. That's great.
And, we don't have to get into the whole thing about whose side we're on to, but as soon as Georgina told Lindsay about, like, the single mom card, I knew she was gonna be so hot. I was like, "Y'all don't know what fuse you have lit right now. Georgina, why would you tell this woman this? Wait till y'all are home because you are about to ruin everybody's time." Lindsay's gonna get mad, she's gonna get activated, and she's gonna make it everybody's problem. So I am waiting
Lindsay
on
not
that.
though? When is she not activated?
That's her
Like,
brand, I guess. That's why she gets asked back. That's why she makes all that money on her endorsements.
I guess, but I'm kinda getting over it, like, I feel like she's a real one-trick pony, like, "Come on, give me a little something else besides being activated."
I mean, how would we know though? Like that's the only trick that Bravo edits in. And they tried to give her a little bit of dating stuff, and it didn't really take off, and they didn't really give her enough room to see, like, Lindsay single in the city, and so, like, we were robbed from a lot. I think we didn't see anything about any of these folks except for fucking Yvonne's civil service ceremony and how mad she was that nobody wasn't celebrating it at a party that Bravo paid for. Like, I can't.
I don't know.
But you're that whole thing where whenever she pulls her for a pot, she said, for whenever Yvonne pulls Lindsay for a chat, and Lindsay says, "In regards to your civil service ceremony," I was like, "Ooh, the shade, the shade."
That's what I'm
And
saying, like, just be a fucking friend, Lindsay, like, I mean, is this girl your friend or not? Like, I get it that you're filming a reality TV show, but, like, you don't have to be a bitch all the time, like,
I
quite
mean, I don't
honestly,
think she is a bitch all the time. I think that she is presented that way.
and, like, I'm saying, like, this I think she had a real opportunity here, and maybe it's not her. Maybe it's the Bravo editing that they missed the opportunity. Maybe she did show a softer side of Lindsay in the combo, and we just didn't get it. It ended up on the cutting room floor. But, like, show me some dimension to these people, you know? Like, I don't want to just see Lindsay in, like, bitch mode all the time, like, attack, attack, attack. Like,
Yeah.
have really enjoyed actually seeing a real conversation between these two relatively mature women who have supposedly been friends for a long time, where Lindsay could go, "You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. Like, things get out of hand. There's old patterns that we fall into with this stuff, and I took the bait and, whatever." Or even just like stop calling it your civil service ceremony, blah, blah, blah.
That
Like,
made me
I mean,
laugh.
like, just call it her wedding. If Yvonne's calling it her wedding, call it her fucking wedding. You know, I mean,
I
that
mean, I
was the day that she
guess.
really legally got married, you know?
I know, but like, you know, I mean, we don't have to relitigate it. But as far as like showing these folks
But
with
Lindsay,
more
don't
dimension,
ask me for cyberbullying just because I'm saying that you're wrong here, okay?
I don't know. Like, there's way more people are saying way more mean things about her than we are. Huh?
Have you been on the gram today? Apparently, Lindsay's
Not
all over. You haven't seen this?
not much. I haven't been ever. It's been a really, really busy day today. I haven't been on any social media actually.
All right. So, I mean, it's not us because, you know, we don't
Yeah,
have the kind of influence they're talking about.
not
There are
yet.
there are some Bravo, accounts, that are like Bravo fan accounts that they follow like real closely and they post the gossip and stuff or whatever. That apparently Lindsay's like coming after them for saying that they're cyber bullying her by basically just calling her out on her personality.
I mean, I'll be the judge of that. I think I might be a little bit more faithful to Lindsay, and which is that's such a bummer when you talk about dimension because it is not shown. I know I've watched Lindsay from season 1. I know she has dementia, and that's another thing too that's really disappointing for these people who this is their first turn at reality TV. Like, we don't know anything about Yvonne. She may be a delight. To me, she seems real boring at parties. And
Just
Kenny,
boring.
we hate him a lot because he seems like a misogynist dick, but he might be like he might have facets. And so they're
He might just
really
be a
cheating
regular,
us.
not a
Yeah,
misogynistic one.
exactly. Which, I can, leave room for that in my watching repertoire. But they're robbing of us of a lot. And maybe that's why I'm just so solidly holding on to my loyalty to Lindsay because I know what her dimensions are. And truthfully, what do you even think we would think about Kyle and Amanda if we had not seen Summer House? If we had not dipped into, we wouldn't know anything about either one of these people. We would. And so it's just they missed an opportunity here to do it. But I want to check in with you about Yvonne talking about how Lindsay's been different ever since she had a baby. This is an age old conversation that women who have children versus women who have. It often happens in much younger women. Nolan, is 27. Shep is 4. And so she doesn't have a lot of mom friends. And this conversation comes up over and over. And I think that it's really unfair. Obviously, you're going to be different when you have a kid. And the idea that they find each other annoying, I don't know. What did you make of that whole thing?
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with you on like, yeah, like any huge change that you have in your life is going to change you as a person. So, becoming a parent is one of the larger life-changing moments, but I mean, getting into a serious relationship or getting married or moving in with somebody, like that's going to change you too, because now it's not just you're factoring in a whole nother adult person. So you have a kid or you have multiple kids or whatever, like now you're factoring in all of these small people that are like relying on you and their schedule, and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I find it naive on Yvonne's part, though, to think that it wouldn't change. And I
Yeah, I
guess
mean,
you don't, like I
she
said,
said, like, she was saying that like, was she, like, implying that, like, she just doesn't think that people should change when they have kids?
no, she was just saying, I just really think Lindsay has changed that she had a baby. I think that she finds me really annoying. And sometimes I think I find her really annoying. And I don't know, the subtext is that, like, people who do and don't have children are not compatible in a friendship, or there is an inherent conflict between the two lifestyles or something. And I don't know. It's just, I just found it to be I just found it off-putting because I just wrote, well, first off, I wrote head explodes, and then I cannot wait for Yvonne to have that baby because she'll be like, oh shit, now I see why things are so different. I see why a life has to be so different. You're not in the same in any way, shape, or form. And so,
But yes and no, because I can remember, like, even, you know, when I had when I started having kids, and my friends either had kids already or were in the middle of having kids and stuff too or whatever, and I can even remember, like, sort of being like, "Wow, they're, like parenting is like really looking different for them than it's looking for like us, like their lives are, like, I mean, it just, everybody just chooses, I think, to do it in whatever way that,
Yeah, but I mean, inherently, your life,
Yeah.
a single person's life, or people with no children, a couple with no children, inherently is different than people who have children, and not better or worse, not easier or harder,
Right.
maybe
Well,
easier.
and just look at like our like little like, primary kind of friend group, like Jeff and Brooke don't have kids, but
Right.
like they have responsibilities and then they're
Mhm.
just not free at every given moment to do every single thing because they have
Different responsibilities, though, for sure.
stuff going on, like,
Yeah.
so just like, I mean, we have, different, amounts of freedom. And I mean, you just have to make choices about different things. So I don't know. I wonder what she was really trying to say. Well, maybe what she was really
Well
trying to say is just that Lindsay annoys her now. They
well,
may
she
have just
says
outgrown each other.
well, I think
Friendship. They
maybe
just, or not outgrown each other, but you know what I mean? Like they may be just
well, I think that might
over.
be the underlying thematic situation here, is that because Yvonne doesn't know how much inherently a life will have to change, and she's sort of like measuring Lindsay against pre-baby Lindsay, that she's feeling something that she can't name yet. That tension that's pulling Lindsay away, she can't name it yet. Once she has that baby, she'll be able to put her finger on it, and she'll be like, "Oh, I understand now the pull, and how me complaining about, you know, not getting to sleep 10 hours might be annoying to Lindsay, who hasn't slept through the night in, a year or whatever." I think, but she just can't put her finger on it just yet. And so I'm interested to see once Yvonne has a baby, because that is a unifying force. And that's feminism. Everybody can make their own choices, but motherhood is a unifying factor among people who have children.
Yeah, can be. Yeah, I agree.
So then this is where is this dinner, and Kyle cannot catch a goddamn break about his fucking DJ career.
Fucking
Okay.
Gavin, man.
Fucking
Fucking Gavin.
Gavin. Like,
This
also,
dude loves to stir a
yeah.
motherfucking pot, okay? Like, he is Mr. I'm just gonna pull this pin out of this grenade and then just, like, set it down and see what happens, you
And then
know?
he's like, I didn't know it was a grenade. What? I didn't know it was going to explode. I thought that he would have already told her. And what was the name of the club they kept saying? And Kyle says he has 14 gigs lined up, but I couldn't catch the name of the place, the club.
I didn't either, and I didn't have I didn't have the closed captioning turned on, which
What? Oh my God, you
so
savage. I always have to watch. I have to watch TV with the captions on all the time. I don't hear as
I'm
good
really
without the captions.
relying on my actual hearing.
Oh my God, I could never. I could never.
So, no,
But
but apparently it's the biggest deal, like, the
yeah.
big
And did you catch the little clip with his manager that Kyle's getting $250,000 a gig now? Blink, blink, blink. Yeah. That's why I said, shut the fuck up, Amanda, and go hit your goddamn blunt and let this man dig himself out of the $7 million of debt that he's in.
right. Shit, I definitely missed that.
Now,
Wow.
it may be $250,000 for a set of gigs, or maybe that is sort of like a signing bonus or something. Either way, it may not be per gig, because if it was per gig, he's out of debt now. Hello, Loverboy. Which, by the way, I still have not gotten my limoncello Loverboy yet.
Did you order that like 4 months ago?
Yeah, so TBD on how it tastes. Are aliens landed in your house, Emily? What's happening?
No, but in my screen, do you see this, like, orange
I mean, I
see this
see.
orange dot in the group?
Maybe. Like, I can't tell where my finger is pointing. This
I
is
know, I
riveting.
can't
People are listening. People are like, y'all is like, pay attention, stop out of it. But I thought for a minute though, I see the reflection of your back. No, you're just pointing at my ceiling right now, Emily. You're just pointing at my ceiling fan right now. But like for a minute,
the screen, and I'm like, "What is that?" Because like,
it's a
my neighbor house you can't see from right there. Like that one from the, I don't know. Okay, sorry.
It's a tall gray coming to get you. But I
Well,
did for a minute.
our house is haunted, so I'm always on the lookout for like any like extra. No, that's not the word. What am I looking for?
Extraterrestrial, supernatural, preternatural.
Supernatural. Thank you.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
always
no.
roof.
Our house, no ghosts, but we do have little people, possibly a duende because Carla is Cuban. So I believe that is a duende. Well, little people is like the fairies is what the Appalachia folks call it. But in Hispanic lore, no, not like fairies,
Not like
is
the
what
shows on the Learning Channel or whatever.
No, not like not like micro wrestling, like not like that. No, like fairies. It's like my grandmother called them the little people, and that was like because she, she was rural country. But Carla, in her particular culture, it's called a duende, and it's like a little spirit that's mischievous and hides shit, and stuff is forever going missing. Anyway, this is riveting stuff. I can hear them just clicking off our podcast right now. But the more they pile on Kyle, the more I root for his career. Get that bag, baby. Get your residence in Las Vegas. Get whatever you need to do. Get after it because Amanda ain't going to do shit. And I bet you $1 million that he winds up having to pay in her alimony. Yeah.
Is New York a community property state? I know California is.
Well, either way, Loverboy didn't come about until after they were married.
Yeah.
He did not have Loverboy. Yeah, he did not have Loverboy before that. And so, I don't know, lawyers listening, let me know if we say something wrong. But the way that they're piling on him, talking about, Kyle found a loophole to go out. And I hate to say it, but Kenny and Gavin are the ones saying the truth here. They're like, what effort has this woman made?
Exactly.
She gets an apartment, doesn't even like take her stuff out of the apartment, talks about she's going to start going out, but not with Kyle, just on her own with her shaggy headed boyfriend.
Agreed.
And
Andrea, man, you are beautiful and I will watch you in your man panties all day, but you probably need to shut the fuck up because.
Yeah, he does. He absolutely does. They have been married not even 1 year. Like Kyle was screaming.
And he's telling Kyle like what to do as a married man. So calm down.
And then Kyle's screaming about how he's got 10 years on him. And that's true. I mean, that's what Kyle doesn't have the emotional regulation. Whatever training he has received thus far in therapy isn't enough. He doesn't have muscle memory enough to keep him calm in that moment because for everybody to pile on is so triggering for him. That immediately injects him right back into the pattern. And then that's when Amanda starts to pull the Emmy of it all from Southern Hospitality. If you guys watch Southern Hospitality, you know the Emmy, anytime that she is accused of anything, she immediately starts getting physically sick and she's quivering and she's panicking, and Amanda has to excuse herself because I'm feeling something physical in my body. Is it Wes's dick? Because that is what is happening.
Like,
I mean,
and I say that as someone who has experienced panic attacks before. They are real. They are terrifying. What I feel like I saw on that screen tonight was someone who Googled what does a panic attack look like and then spouted off basically what she had read online. Like she did not hear, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm going to hell for judging, but like I'm telling you, that looks the biggest way. Like, I mean, I hope you fake your orgasms better than you fake your panic
for
attacks.
real, because you know she's be faking them with who. Have you heard the latest that West is cheating on her with Brianna Chicken Fry?
Of course.
Which that's unsubstantiated. Allegedly, I don't know, but that is the streets are saying.
How you get him is how you lose him. Okay, so
I mean, exactly. If he's going to do it with you, he's going to do it to you.
You know, so
yeah. But I just think anything to perpetuate this idea that she is Kyle's victim. And see, if he wouldn't act like this, everything would be fine. If he could just be a better husband to me. And like, meanwhile, she is actively sleeping with somebody else. She is moved out And I mean, I get so mad. Like, these dumb fuckers. Kyle does that thing where he walks around muttering to himself, I just can't take it anymore, man. Let me go get my butthole and some Epsom salt. Like, he is just walking around. It is old days. It's old times. And, I can imagine I don't do well either if I were to get ganged up on. I'm a reactive person in a lot of ways. Yeah. And I mean, and Kyle is also a reactive person, and his training is just not extending to these moments. I bet these fuckers are going to eat their words, or I guess have already eaten them, because once they saw this, I hope everybody at that table called him up and was like, hey man, I'm real sorry for ganging up on you. I hate that happened.
This doesn't seem like a group of people who's real self-aware. So, I don't know.
Well, I am, if this show gets a season 2.
I'll be interested to see again the reunion, because when they filmed the reunion just a few weeks ago.
Did they?
So
we
would have seen Summer House, the Scamanda of it all.
God, did Amanda go?
Well, I don't know. Yes. Remember, because that's that picture that we've seen online that a fan snapped a pic. Like,
of them laughing?
Coming out of the building, Kyle and Amanda together. And he's like gracious and like holding the door for her. And it said they had all finished filming the reunion, and then they all went to like some place for brunch or dinner or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, it seems like the reunion, the city reunion, went better for her than the Summer House reunion did, because, I mean, because what are they even going to rehash in this reunion? What is there even to talk about?
The red wedding? I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
The fact that Georgina can't make a fucking martini, ma'am.
It's literally got 3 ingredients. It's got 3 ingredients.
But you shake it. You have to shake your martini. You don't pour some olive juice and then just top it with vodka and go, this is a martini. Like, no,
well, some people want their stirred, not shaken.
Okay, but you at least stir it with a little ice and then strain it. No.
So next week, the season finale is going to be more Friendsgiving. And the more about this single mom card debate, I'm telling you, Lindsay is never going to let this go. This shit, they're going to put this shit on her gravestone. It's going to say Lindsay Hubbard playing the single mom card. Like, she is never going to let it die.
Yeah.
More Gavin versus Kenny. I don't think there is anything that I care less about than Kenny and Gavin and their friendship. And Amanda wants to double date with West and Sally, Sally Carson from Southern Charm, and her and Kyle and West and Sally. Now, that's funny because West did fuck Sally Carson from Southern Charm. He also fucked Mia from Southern Hospitality, who then reported to Sally, hey man, West has good D, go for it. But then also, Kyle has been spotted this summer, as recently as July 3rd, making out with Sally Carson.
Again, I'm just going to say the same thing I said to you and Jeff the other day, now that I've started watching Vanderpump Rules. I hope everyone is taking healthy doses of penicillin with every meal.
They are a very incestuous bunch here. I mean, they are just tonguing each other down. And listen, you know what? You got to go through a hoe phase right after your divorce.
Just has like doctors like on staff that like the cast members just call up and they're like, hey man, I just fucked West. And they're like, yep, calling you in a script right now.
Well, it's something about like the Eastern Seaboard coastal like folks that are really just like putting each other, Southern Charm, Southern Hospitality, Summer House, In the City, like those. There's a lot of mixing in and around Craig and Paige, and now also Kyle has been spotted making out with Ava Dash, who is 23, 24. So he's really,
and he's about where he's at.
Yeah, and he's a handsome man, so he could do it. Who gets your Bridge and Tunnel / Rotten Apple Award?
You know what? Lindsay Hubbard.
How dare you? How dare you?
Gauntlet thrown. Do better, Lindsay. I expect better from Mother Hubbard. Do better.
My bridge and tunnel is, I'm sorry to say, it's going to be Kyle's dad. That was real bad advice. And now Kyle's butthole is really suffering because you did not give your son good advice. I'll never forget Kyle easing himself down into an Epsom salts bath on a show on Bravo. Like, that is peak Bravo television. And then who's your big golden apple?
Oh, I think we know. I mean, we might as well call it a golden banana. I don't know, but it's going to be Andrea's
panties. Andrea's man panties.
It's just his man panties.
I mean, it didn't even cross it. It didn't even like cancel it out whenever he's like screaming at Kyle at the table.
The visual, the picture that you screenshot for
I
me.
did. I did take a quick pic. You know, this is controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is controversial, but I think because we take it episode by episode, I want to say I think it's Kenny
on this one.
Yeah. So number one,
you remember he chose paintball.
Yeah, but some of them loved it. Georgina was out there getting those aggressions. She's like, fuck these ballerina flats. I'm getting after it. But it was his idea to give them the honeymoon suite. However it shook out, that was a nice gesture. But the whole like meal that they did, he arranged it and like catered it. He was taking up for Kyle. And we had the flashback of him and Lindsay's kind of heart to heart. Like, I think in the bubble of Connecticut, he is not a douche
I think
bro.
I wrote it to him last week, right? Or the week before.
Yeah.
Whenever they heart to heart. Like, I was like, because he was so close. He was like almost there, almost a decent person. Not quite, but like he was so adjacent to being a good person. So I gave it to him.
Yeah, just almost there. So
like giving it to him on this episode, but I'll let you have it.
So next week on the season finale, this is I'm giving you some homework. You are going to have to. We always make predictions. Yes. For season 2, whether or not there is a season 2, whether or not we cover it or not, we always make predictions. What do we think is going to happen? What do we hope is going to happen? What are our hopes, dreams, wishes for these people? What is the inevitable story arc that we think, like, just, some things. And then we can also talk a little bit about some things that we want to see at the reunion and some items that need to be addressed and need to be resolved at the reunion. And so we'll take almost like our bingo card that we did. We will make a list of things because, the show is not delivering like it did. Like, we were really hot to trot in those first 4 episodes or so because the Summer House layover or overlap, I should say.
I had higher hopes for this show than what it delivered.
Yeah. So build that into your hopes, dreams, and wishes from our lips to Bravo God's ears. And definitely come back for our OC coverage. Not only are we covering the new season and these women who are fairly aged. Vicky Gunvalson, I think, is like 63.
She falls down like in at least, 5 out of the 10 episodes. That's
already. We already getting some slapstick.
Classic.
Yeah. Vicky. And we are also going to cover the older episodes, and Emilie and I are still kind of like conceiving of that, but it's going to be the same show. You won't have to tune into different shows. It'll be the same,
like a little compare and contrast kind of like episodes.
A little bit, and just to kind of go through because it'll be really fun, and I think so. Come back for that. Also, Nolan and I
tomorrow special guest appearance on.
That's right.
Whatever. What do you call it?
That'll also be Thursday. Yeah, so tune in on Thursday for our Mega Mini crossover, which Emilie is joining us for the summer.
No, we're not doing Mega Mini crossover this week.
I think
from Vanderpump.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm combining the two. I think though, since I don't know. Hope Jeff's not listening because he's going to be rolling his eyes the whole time because my admin is off today. So, but anyway, Emilie is going to join us as we talk about season 5, episode 10, when our dummies, our West Coast dummies, meet our East Coast dummies. and
Right.
Stassi Jobs makes an appearance.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's that. And then Nolan and I are taking on McBee Dynasty. We've already done the entirety of season 1, and the first half of season 2 will drop on Sunday. So y'all come back, and of course, always find us on social media at Take a Pinot Pod on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. And if you have any complaints, send them to Jeff at Pinot Pod. And make sure that you rate us and review us and get us bumped up in the algorithms. If you think we're funny, somebody else might too. So that's the tea now. Emilie, any lasting thoughts for these dummies, these East Coast dummies?
No,
Yeah.
I'm ready to be done with them.
Yeah. We're on the OC is gonna be fun though. We're gonna really like kill it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you on the next time, y'all.
All right.